Hi guys, I'm Kiri. Welcome to another episode of KIRI'S Garage. Today, the car is a 1971 Monteverdi high-speed 375 EO. To have a Swiss watch is prestigious and very special. But to have a Swiss car, it's extremely special, or was extremely special back in the 1960s and 70s, because the Swiss brand Monteverdi doesn't exist anymore. We're gonna keep the word special because once something being special stays special forever. The story of this car is very interesting. We mentioned early Swiss watches. The Swiss watches are really Swiss if the mechanism inside, the engine, is Swiss made, or even better, in-house made. Now, the car in front of us, Monteverdi High-Speed 375 EO, is made in Switzerland. The chassis, the assembly, the interior, all they are handmade in Switzerland. But not like the Swiss watches. The engine, the gearbox, the front suspension, brakes, the rear axle are not Swiss made. We're gonna come to this later, but now let's say something about the Monteverdi Automobili, because the story is kind of similar to the story between Ferruccio Lamborghini and Enzo Ferrari. And again, Enzo Ferrari was involved here. Peter Monteverdi, the founder of the company, was born in Basel in 1934. From the very young age, he was obsessed with cars. Switzerland is not well known with building cars, but the neighbor Italy is. And most of the cars in Switzerland on that time were Italian. At age of 18, he built his first car, based of course on Fiat 1100. 6 years later, when he was just 24 years old in 1957, Peter Monteverdi began importing Ferraris to Switzerland and becoming the official Swiss distributor for Ferrari. He eventually became very famous and well known into this circle, so his business quickly expanded. And soon he was official Swiss distributor not only for Ferrari, but for Lancia, Jensen, BMW, even for Bentley and Rolls-Royce. Probably Enzo Ferrari didn't like that, and in 1965 they had a big clash. So Peter Monteverdi refused to supply Ferraris anymore from Maranello, or Maranello refused to ship cars to Monteverdi. The story is, Enzo Ferrari wanted Peter Monteverdi to pay in front for the shipment of 100 Ferrari cars, but Monteverdi refused and eventually he lost his Ferrari dealership. He was very furious. And the same as the Ferruccio Lamborghini, he decided to build his own car, much better than Ferrari. The fight between Ferruccio Lamborghini and Enzo Ferrari was few years early, 1962-1963, and the first Lamborghini 350 GTV was presented in 1963. So Peter Monteverdi said to himself, if some Italian tractor manufacturer can make a car better than Ferrari, why not me? And this was how the first Monteverdi car was born. Two-seat GT car, named High-Speed 375S. Was presented at the 1967 Frankfurt Motor Show. Because he was in the business with luxury cars, wasn't hard for him to find clients for this completely new project. So he received enough deposits for the very first Swiss supercar, and the production began in the same 1967. The first cars eventually were supplied in the next 1968. He found that probably from the clients, most of the customers were interested in a 4-seat GT car instead of 2-seat, and the reaction was very quick. The model High-Speed 375 EO, the car in front of us. The same base and very similar design to the original 375S, just stretched a bit, new back end, but everything else very identical. High-end cars like this need to have proper striking design and big designer's name. So was Carrozzeria Frua, very famous back on the day design house with modern ideas. And of course they built the body. As you can see, the car is just amazing. For 1960s was massive car for the European standard. Very smart and sharp look, so was eye-catching. Everything what was new was inside this car. Absolutely luxurious with top quality. That's why the weight is over 2 tons. And for 1960s this was out of any scale. The name 375 stands for the horsepower. So again more power than the rivals Ferrari, Lamborghini, etc. etc. We come in now to the moment to say from where this huge power was extracted. Well, we mentioned earlier, Peter Monteverdi was official Swiss distributor for Jensen cars as well. So a very similar power plant, like in the Jensen cars, were installed into this very beautiful Swiss supercar. American V8 7.2 liter 7206 cc Chrysler engine, producing, as we mentioned, 375 horsepower. For late 1960s, this was one of the most powerful cars in the world, suitable to carry 4 people and lots of suitcases and bags. But not only that, was capable of doing 0 to 96 km per hour or 60 miles per hour for just 6.3 seconds and reaching a maximum speed of 152 miles per hour or near 250 km per hour. And you remember what we said, curb weight 2010 kilograms, so over 2 tons. Of course, only rear-wheel drive and 3-speed automatic transmission was in production from 1968 to 1976, and approximately 80 units were built. Only one thing wasn't right with this car, according to many independent magazines, and this was the price tag. In 1969, the price was 10,450 British pounds. By the way, my neighbor bought her house in North London roughly the same year for half of this money. And to be more clear, a Lamborghini Espada was 7,900 British pounds. Ferrari Daytona 6,700 British pounds. Huge difference. And consider that the last 2 brands, they are with in-house made engine and gearbox and almost everything. We know 4 types of different bodies for this incredible car, high-speed 375. We mentioned earlier the original 375S, the 2-seat sport version, then the even 4-door, very luxurious sedan 375 4S, this crazy 5.3 meter long car, they built between 15 and 30 of this car. Then the Spider 375C, stands for convertible, but just 2 of these were made, and today only one in existence. And on the end, maybe the most popular, the car in front of us, Monteverdi High Speed 375L. A truly GT car with only 2 doors but 4 large seats. And this was probably the best option, because this car was the car for long distances, long trips, let's say from the Swiss Alps down to the Italian or the French Riviera. Imagine late 1960s or early 70s to show up with this car in front of Casino Monte Carlo. This could be a really big moment. We mentioned earlier, the design was done by Frua and they began to build the body of the car. But the building capacity was not that big, let's say, and Monteverdi went to another company, Fisore. Peter Monteverdi wanted from Frua 100 cars per year, but this was impossible. Then he went to Fisore, who had the capacity, but again he went on another clash, this time with Frua. Because actually they designed the car and they were not happy Fisore to build the car. Anyway, later Fisore built the cars. And the actual car here in front of us is built by Fisore. So it's not very early Frua car. This is number 54 of, as we mentioned, approximately 80 cars built, and was sold new to a very famous late 60s and early 70s German TV and radio company owner. He enjoyed the car a lot, but few years later a Swiss collector bought the car from Germany and imported in Switzerland. So the car remained in his collection for some number of years. After a long time staying in Switzerland, the car has now come to the UK. We can see many Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Maseratis, all that kind of cars, but to see a Monteverdi is really something absolutely rare. Mostly they can be seen in museums, car collections or classic car events like this. The emblem of the car is a crown, so Peter Monteverdi was really obsessed to build something more than the top luxury brands, something to be for the most special people in the world. From the very first supercar presented in 1967 to the last one being sold in 1976, Monteverdi sold not that many cars, but he didn't end it up here. Approximately on that time, he started the production of the very new Monteverdi car, and this was the off-road station wagon, Monteverdi Safari. By the name you can guess this was specifically designed for rich Middle East sheikhs and was extremely heavily equipped with the vast technology available at the time. So very luxury vehicle for special roads, or let's say no roads. The base for the Safari was the International Harvester Scout, but transformed into a very luxurious boutique SUV. Again V8 American engines, also some other projects were being unveiled and some more new models, but with no success. Peter Monteverdi had some years spent in Formula 1. He invested in a team called Onyx F1, then was renamed to Monteverdi Onyx, but again with no success. One of the most well-known model is a Monteverdi High 450 with mid-engine, which was intended to be a competitor to Ferrari 365 Berlinetta Boxer, Lamborghini Countach or Maserati Bora, but remained only as a prototype. Today, the 375 series cars, it seems to be the most attractive with unique chassis and design, the most desirable, and we just checked the prices of these cars at the auctions. So 375S was sold in 2022 by Bonhams for 230,000 Swiss francs. Then the car in front of us, the EO version, was sold in 2023 for 155,000 Swiss francs, and the 4-door executive car 375-4 was sold in 2022 for 112,000 Swiss francs. They are collector items today, and they're not going often for sale. But Monteverdi is one of the rarest luxury and sports brands in the world. It's not existing today, but his legacy is here, his creations are our pleasure. The car in front of us, the 375L high-speed GT Coupe, is very beautiful and on the same time very solid and well-built machine, same as a Swiss watch. And thanks to the V8 American power plant, the car is almost bulletproof. The wheelbase is bigger than the normal GT car of this class. This is to give more comfort for the passengers inside the car. So the wheelbase is 2m659mm. It wasn't a new idea to put a big engine into a sports car. There are many other car manufacturers in the world to do this, like Jensen, Isrivolta and many others. Peter Monteverdi makes some of the most expensive, exclusive cars in the world, cars that were a dream for many car people. Not only because they were very expensive, but because they were very rare. Even today the Monteverdi cars are even less, because many of them had been destroyed by some reasons. So on the end, this is a very rare, expensive, exclusive, executive sports car. Car that is Italian designed, American muscle, but Swiss made. Absolutely unrepeatable configuration. Only the brand in the world to be this way. The legendary Monteverdi high-speed 375 EO. So guys, I hope you liked the video about this very rare Swiss made car. If you like, please subscribe my channel and see you next time guys. Bye!